Doing a nice little ham-hock stream today. Just real chill. And the reason for that, as some of you may know, is because my hard drive decided to. Where are you going? Get back there. Decided to have some problems. The boot drive is apparently something's happened to it. It happens. You know, the thing that the computer boots from. So without a boot drive, the computer's like, hey, we don't recognize that there's anything to actually launch the operating system from. So it's loud today. Hope you guys don't mind that. But yeah, so that's basically what's happening. I'm doing a backup. I haven't backed up my computer in a while. So it is taking longer than I was hoping it would, unfortunately. Videos take up a lot of space, take a while to back up. So I'm taking the old hard drive, which is an SSD M2, which I've never actually dealt with before. This is a new thing to me. And I'm running it through another computer, my old desktop, to a new hard drive. And so I'm just backing up all the data, and I'm going to try to repair the boot drive. And the reason why I want to back up all the data, of course, is because if something fails, I don't want everything to become entirely unrecoverable. This is just in case. Could I have had my computer up and running right now? Yes. Would it have been with all of the information, all the data, all the programs, the backgrounds that I currently have? That's the question. Could I afford to lose all of it? Yes. Do I want to lose all of it? Absolutely not. And there are projects that you guys haven't seen, longer projects that I definitely do not want to restart. So that's where we're at right now. So I just figured, heck, let's do a nice little chillax stream. Just a quick little thing. No apple juice at the moment, unfortunately. I know, but yeah, you think the shirt is colorful enough? Internet God? I don't know. I feel like it could use a little more. But yeah, just we'll just talk. We'll just hang out, ask you questions, give you some answers. Uh, Ooh, U235. How's it going? But yeah, just doing a nice chill thing. You know, some people are traveling around the country running a scam. Here I am, relaxing in a hammock. I think I'm doing better than the people running the scam around the country. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I have not heard from Chili. No, he said he was gonna file a lawsuit against me on Monday. That never happened. He said he was gonna get a restraining order against me on Wednesday. I haven't heard anything about it. He said that he had a PI that was gonna get information on me. As far as I know, that hasn't happened, or not in a manner that gives him enough information to file the lawsuit. Either he doesn't have enough information to find me to file the lawsuit, which is a shame, because I would have loved to have read it. Not that I like want lawsuits against me, but that one I'm not worried about. Uh, so either he couldn't figure out where I was to serve me, or he made an attempt and he got laughed out of court. But if he had made the attempt, surely we would have seen something on his YouTube channel, because he likes to film everything, you know, that he's doing, despite how ridiculous most of it is. Now, if he wanted to find me, he could. Somebody recommended I get a pillow. It's nice, it's a hassle, but it's not more nice than it is a hassle. Anyway, he could subpoena records from Google, right, through YouTube to try to figure out where I am and how to get me information. Because there is an email address tied to my account. Helicopters. A little far north. Interesting. Weird. Anyway, don't mind the noise. I don't know how much of it you can hear. But yeah, no, he could. Of course, he could just email it to me. But can he prove it's been served? Yeah, that's a whole question. So, no, he's has not communicated with me since. He's blocked me on Facebook. I haven't checked if he's blocked me on Twitter. I don't intend to reach out to him again. He's made that very clear. But he was saying that I wasn't communicating with him, and we proved that I was. So, in the sense that he stated that he wanted me to communicate with him, and I wasn't because I was scared. I went, I'll communicate. But anyway, I'm dropping my phone. So yeah, so there's that. He hasn't done that. I'm wearing a seatbelt in my hammock. No. Cowboys, hey, thanks for becoming a member. Oh wow, that sun just right in my face. Oh, he's live right. Of course, he's live right now, doing his thing. I am not coming to Ironton Memorial Day for the parade. Unfortunately, I got some National Guard stuff I have to do here, which is why my hair is all nice and cut. And next time you see me, I probably will be somewhat shaved. As in, I will shave, and presumably there will be some growth by the time you see me a little bit. But yeah, he can't afford a PI after all the drugs, allegedly. But what do you got for me, guys? What questions? Also, before I ask that, let me go through your comments. Gotta keep up. Good to have you all here, by the way. Portland, Maine. Oh man, East Coast. Represent. Thoughts on a shooting claim? Are you talking about the Sheets shooting? I don't think he knows. First of all, I don't think he knows anything about it. I don't think he knows what he's talking about, even if he did know about it. And my understanding is one of the body camera angles has been released, and certainly doesn't support the nonsense he's claiming. As far as I'm aware, I haven't actually reviewed all of his stuff. I was waiting for everything to come out before I actually really broke that down. But I'm hearing there are 3 other body cam angles that just destroy his allegations of a weapon being planted as evidence and all that. That's my understanding. Do I know yet? No, because if I went after every dumb thing he said, there are enough hours in the day. It would destroy me. I would have no time for anything. So I'm waiting. We'll see about it though. Have you seen Chili's new conspiracy theory about cops throw down guns? No, I have not. I haven't actually watched much of his new stuff. There's just so much of his old nonsense that I've just been going through for fun. We are expecting some big news very soon, either from this channel or another channel. I can't go into details. But we have some big stuff that we're waiting on, just the final pieces for. And we might not ever get those final pieces. Same thing happened with DeWitt, is we had some big maybes. And we never had enough to prove it. There's a lot to say it's very likely, but I don't like to speculate any more than I have to. U235, I legally have to shave my face, unfortunately. I know. Montreal, oui, the most hated part of Canada. No, Montreal's great. I've been there. Long time ago. Wow, I don't even remember when that would have been. But yeah. Motion to dismiss were filed for Chili and Kent Freeman. Ah, yes. People, a couple of you have sent emails with that information. I have not had the time to get to those yet. It's been a kind of crazy week. It usually is a kind of crazy week. Last week was actually pretty chill. But this week has been a little nuts. A lot of last-minute stuff for the National Guard we got tasked out to look pretty. That's some Memorial Day stuff. So, some preparation for that in my free time. Also trying to fix my computer. And it's just, the computer's being got fixed. It's just time-consuming process if I want to do it as safely as possible. But yeah. Let me... Jeremy's man boobs. Thank you, by the way. I live in a hammock if I could. It's nice. I'll tell you what. Sometimes in the summer, when it gets real hot in the summer, I'll sleep on the hammock. And I know people are like, "Oh, it doesn't get that hot there." Like, I live in Texas or Arizona where it's 120 degrees. Like, yeah, but you're used to that. You know, I'm not. No, this part of Washington is not supposed to get that hot. No, thank you. So, that's the thing. So when it gets too hot for me to be inside my house comfortably, sometimes I go to sleep in the hammock, and it is delightful. It's very nice. Break the law. Keep the facial hair. Vive la revolution. So no. I appreciate it. I would love to. Personally, do I think the Army should allow facial hair? Yes, a little bit. And they already do in certain circumstances. I do not meet the criteria. Now, there are religious exemptions for shaving, but I'd be lying if I tried to make that happen. So that feels disrespectful to the people that actually have the religions that allow facial hair in the military. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Navy SEAL claim email. Yes, I believe I did. I have not gone through it yet substantially. I haven't read it, but I believe I received it. You did raise $5,000 for Christy Loan, the widow. I wonder how much of that went to her though. Maybe he. And if he gave her that money, good for him. You know, regardless of what her or her husband, I guess, was. It's gonna be difficult for her for a little bit. So, yeah, if you want to donate, absolutely. Watching insane war footage all day, and then there's me. The opposite. Fair. That is fair. Well, Rennie, the problem with the washer and dryer is that although comfy, not, it's warm. It's warm on that. Oh, John, get a hammock for camping. Absolutely. Takes up zero space. You know? So, if you can use it, they're great. Do they really make a policy where you cannot ask for a no-shaving profile in the military? I don't think so. Then, as far as I know, no-shave profiles are still a thing. You can still ask for them. I believe it has to be on the recommendation of a medical professional, though, right? So it wouldn't be like, hey, what's up, sergeant that's in charge of me? Whoever, can I have a no shaving profile? That's not going to work. Technically you could ask, I'm sure. You're not going to get a no shaving profile for that. What you would do is you would say, hey, I'm going to sick call because for whatever reason shaving every day is really bad for my skin. And then you go to sick call and you meet with someone who would review what you're talking about and say yes or no. Do you need a shaving profile? For how long? Is it permanent? Is it not? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So as far as I know, there's no reason you would not be able to do that. So, but I haven't looked into no shaving profile in a very long time because it's not something that any of my soldiers have asked of me anytime recently. There you go. Chile is not claiming, as far as I know, to have SEAL training, unless I've misunderstood the information being sent to me. I believe he's claimed that he is trained with a SEAL, in a gym. But, to my knowledge, the people he's claiming to have trained with are like, no, who are you? So, has he been in the same gym as a Navy SEAL? Or has he been in a gym that a Navy SEAL has been in? Probably. Is he then trying to spin that to be like, I trained with, Navy SEALs? It's like DeWitt, right? DeWitt did the same thing. Like, well, this is almost true, and therefore if I spin it in such a way, it sounds really cool. So my guess is there's a gym that Chile used to go to, and there were some famous people in the, combat or fighting, professions that have attended that gym. And so Chile, in his mind, this is my presumption. Okay, this is not a fact. This is a guess. And my guess is that in Chili's mind, he goes, well, I train in the same place that a Navy SEAL is trained, and therefore my training is using the same stuff the Navy SEAL does. Therefore, my training is equivalent to this Navy SEAL's training, his personal time. Uh, and if I can train at his level here, I could train at his level in the Navy SEALs for like combat training, whatever. Therefore, I've trained with Navy SEALs. That is my guess. And the same would go for any UFC fighter, MMA fighter, or whatever. That is my guess of his mentality because he's named specific people. And I've seen messages where those specific people were asked, do you know this guy? And they went, he was never part of our group. He may have trained in our gym. He was never part of our group where we specifically trained them. So that's the whole thing. Oakland, do you have trained SEALs? Ah. Well, in that case, maybe. I mean, it also could be like, oh, he's in a gym and some Navy SEAL comes in and he goes, hey man, your form is wrong. Boom, now you just trained a Navy SEAL, technically. Right? Like, I could teach a Navy SEAL how to do taxes. Boom, I've technically trained a Navy SEAL. It's a meaningless claim without additional context, of course. Don Shipley would be happy to rip him apart. Don Shipley generally goes after people who are claimed to have served. And Chile, as far as I know, has never claimed to have served. So there's not really much to rip apart in Don Shipley's sort of part of the world. Now, could Don Shipley contact these people and say, hey, do you know this guy? Sure. He could absolutely do that because he's got a lot of contacts. He's a known guy, you know? Doesn't even have baby otter training. Reading through your chats here. Good to have you guys here, by the way. I know it's a weird time. I didn't give any notice of it. I was just looking at the numbers from my hard drive backup. It's not happening today. And it's been a while since I just done a chill stream. You know? Nice, just nice, relaxed little thing. Trained the seal. It was Ziploc. That's good. That's a good joke. I like it. Still photo specialist. Sean, what is a still photo specialist? Just like photography? I'm gonna look for any more content. Tell me what a still photo specialist is. 84 Bravo. Rennie, write that down. I gotta look into that. That never heard it by that name. Hey, Bill Bergie. We had a SEAL train in my med unit one time. Can I claim I trained with a SEAL? No. I mean, you could. I mean, technically. You technically could. I mean, I would recommend putting the context of it in to avoid people getting upset about being misled, but sure. John P. I'm not going to read it, but good luck. Try not to spread anything. John Pearson says SEALs have their own training facilities on base. That is true. So on base, you'll have like a gym, right? And I'm sure the SEALs have gyms specific to them. But that doesn't mean they don't sometimes pop out into gyms that are more specific to MMA, or maybe there's a SEAL out there that is really into parkour. He goes to a parkour gym, right? So is it impossible? Or maybe the SEAL is retired and doesn't go to the facilities on a military installation. Give me a criminal had the captain of the Ironton PD on a show last night. He said Chili's MMA fight challenge. You should check it out. Yeah, I heard about that. That's going to be exciting. If it actually happens, I doubt it's going to happen. But yeah, keeping it criminal. If you haven't seen his video of that, go check it out. I've not had time to check it out. I will be checking it out. So that'll be good. That's going to be good stuff. Is it legal in Ohio to have a 44 mag with a criminal record? Yes. Generally, only a felony will stop you from being able to carry a firearm, and even that is not always the case, depending on the type of felony in the state and how long it's been, and a variety of situations. I've found nothing in Chili's criminal record that actually prohibits him from having that weapon, as far as convictions go. Now, are there other things that would prohibit him from having that weapon? Yes. Have they been proven in the court of law? No. So, like his drug use, for example. His drug use makes it illegal to have a weapon. And I've said this a few times. I'm happy to say it again. We saw him smoking a substance from drug paraphernalia on a YouTube stream. However, can we prove that that substance is what he claimed it was, which is marijuana? No, we can't prove that. And if you took him to court, all he has to do is say, well, it's just a bit. I'm just a YouTube personality. This was never meant to be taken seriously. Look at all my content. You think this is supposed to be taken seriously? This is all a joke. It's a parody of something or other. All of my claims of drug use are false. Blah, 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 blah. And a jury might say, yeah, that makes sense. We can't prove that that is, in fact, drugs. And sucks to suck. Now, what you could do is say, oh, he's claiming to have drugs on him right now. He's claiming to be doing drugs right now. A search warrant, arrest warrant, time now. Go to where he is. And we know where he is right now. Well, we know one of the places he was. And we have a general idea. Warrants could be issued to find him pretty easily. I don't want to give too much information on that because I'm not trying to dox the man. But you get a warrant, you could raid that place at the time. So when he was in Texas smoking weed, if the police had been watching it and they had gotten a warrant, immediately be like, we know where he is, and he's claiming this marijuana, he's smoking on live stream. Let's go deal with that, because now not only does it violate Texas law, but federal law, because we know that he owns a firearm. Yeah, they could probably get a warrant. And if they caught him with the marijuana at the time, and they tested it at that time and tested positive, boom, he can't carry a firearm. He can't own a firearm. However, that didn't happen. So there's nothing at the moment that I'm aware of that definitely stops from owning it, but there are certainly things that are very, very close. It may have crossed the line, but proving is the problem. However, I don't believe that he got that firearm legally, so it may be unlawful possession of a firearm. So that's the whole thing. But proving that could be tricky. And it's how much time should be devoted to this. What's the chance of success? Something. That's the whole thing. U.S. Army still photographer. Anything that needed photographing, we did it. Promotion photos, autopsies, traffic accidents, awards, grip and grin photo, promotions, evidence photos. The MLS is now defunct. See, okay, that makes sense, because a lot of that would fall under public affairs now. So promotion, awards, that would be public affairs generally. The autopsy photos, that's going to be CID. Although that might be changing. CID it hasn't already, going in the direction of NCIS becoming a civilian agency. That's as far as I know anyway. Traffic accidents, MPs photograph traffic accidents. So yeah, that's interesting. I'd never heard of that one, but I know of the job. Like, I'm familiar with who would do the job now, but that wouldn't be just one MLS. It would appear split between a bunch of them now. Oh, that's very fascinating. That's good stuff. I've been tempted to go into public affairs, just to give me some cameras. Let's film some stuff. Let's go. Put me on a helicopter. Although I have done photography from a helicopter before. When I was working with CID, our special agent in charge got permission to send us up in a Chinook to practice aerial photography for crime scene investigation purposes. Because sometimes you can have an enormous crime scene. You want aerial photographs of it. And we're like, hey, let's practice it, because for whatever reason, some officer, I guess, someone high enough to make this decision, was like, hey, you guys want to go up in a Chinook or a Black Hawk or whatever we got going on a mission? And they finagled some sort of event, and so they strapped us in to like a harness in a Chinook, flew it up. We weren't sure if it was going to be a Black Hawk or Chinook, but the day that we did this, they had a training mission to fly around. for like 4 hours. Oh, it was so cold by the end of it. And they were like doing maneuvers, like literally going sideways in that thing. So by the end of it, it was like, good times though. I'm not usually a sensitive stomach kind of guy, but 4 hours of it, that's a lot. So the pilots are up there throwing popcorn at each other, just like, hey, we got snacks, man. It's gonna be a long one. Like, here's some Dunkaroos. Open up. Like, all right, cool. It's a whole thing. So yeah, so they hooked up the harness. They lowered the there's like a ramp on the back of the Chinook, and we sort of like dangled our feet off of it and had cameras, and we're just shoot, shoot. And those cameras were, I was so nervous about dropping it. I mean, they were like $500 cameras. They're fine cameras, but it wouldn't have been a huge deal. But the Army doesn't pay you that much. I was just a wee little lad at the time, not making much money in the Army. Still not making much money in the Army. I don't do it for the money. But yeah, oh, that was a good time. Anyway, stories. It's a ham extreme or ham-hock stream. It's story time on the ham-hock stream always. Woodwork Learner says, a couple of Army guys were with me once, so that doesn't mean I was with the Army for a while. You could say that you were a military liaison, right? It's like LinkedIn, right? You're building a resume and you just like make stuff sound really intense. Like, oh yeah, I had lunch with the Army once. You'd be like, I was, met with military at like a luncheon to discuss something. Like you can spin it however you want. It's just that people who are experienced in spinning, you're gonna see right through it. And once you start asking questions, like it all falls apart. Where's my puppy dog? Puppy dog's hanging out elsewhere, unfortunately, at the moment. Yeah. She's staying with her mom. It's alright. I saw her recently. She's a goof. Darcy Vanberg says, I have a small deck garden, does that make me a farmer? Technically, I feel like farmer implies profession, right? If I'm like, I'm a dancer, and I feel like that implies that I dance and I profit from it. So if you, I mean, not that, I don't know if that's how it works, right? I don't know. Yeah, sure, you're a farmer. You're a small-time farmer. Absolutely, why not? Abby Paulin asks, is the debate on or still delayed by Chile? Oh, it's off. He canceled. It's funny. He couldn't decide if he canceled. I want to talk to you. I will let you know when the debate's going to happen. Like, but you want to talk to me. Do not contact me again. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to file a restraining order against you. Well, you can't have a debate if you have a restraining order against me. What are you talking about? Like, nothing I've done is going to get a restraining order approved. In fact, the opposite is probably true, where I can get a restraining order against him. I really wanted to. If I was going to Ironton, I would apply for a restraining order before I went. And I feel like I could get that approved very easily based on the things that he said. Where he said, if I ever see you, I'm going to defend myself. He's implied that he's going to kill me if he sees me, essentially. So, at least that's how I interpreted it. He wouldn't elaborate. I tried to get him to elaborate. He wouldn't do it, so. Yeah. Oh, delete laws. I'm already lying down. It's a fake one, guys, I hope. Probably. Before we get all excited. I'm already lying down. Where are you? There's room. There's room. How's it going, Susie? But Chili doesn't lie. Chicken says Chili won't debate because he knows he will lose like he has the last 2 debates he agreed to. Well, okay, so there was one with Team Skeptic where it got utterly destroyed. And it did kind of fall apart at the end just because it sort of devolved into not a debate. But Team Skeptic's willing to like sort of talk things through. And, So then Chili's like, I'm never doing that again. And then immediately he was like, debate me, Blue Bacon. He's in my stream as I'm handcuffed. Debate me. I'm like, bro, not right now. I'm in the middle of something. All right, yeah, send you an email. And then he just sending me emails insulting me. and telling me that he's going to hurt me. Like, okay, like, I don't care. That has nothing to do with the debate. Let's go. When's the debate? Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'll send you a thing. But also, there's nothing else for me to say. Then he never sent me the link. And I was like, bro, you're going to send me the link. A month later, don't ever contact me again. Or don't email me again, I believe is what he said. Or if you email me again, I'll sue you. I hope you email me again. Basically what he said, if I remember correctly. And then he thought he had my, enough information to find me. So then he gets really excited again and tries to get my phone number. And that didn't work. And that was my understanding. My interpretation of the situation is he never wanted to debate me. He just wanted more information from me so he could find me. There was never going to be a debate. That's my guess. But, yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, Chili's been doing a lot of streams. Of course he has, right? Like, too many streams. I can't watch them all. I don't want to watch them all. It's mostly more of the same. Him just being stupid. I'll keep poking at him in the little shorts, but I'm probably going to, for the most part, move on to other things with the longer form videos. There will be some longer videos of him, but I'm definitely diversifying. I'm still going to make videos about him with the shorts, just because it's the easiest content I've ever made in my life. And I'd hate to give that up. And that's me being lazy and greedy. 100%. It's pure laziness. It's the easiest thing to make content about this guy. My God. But it'll just be short little things. In addition to my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I hope. It's not so about getting the new SSD. It's not that the SSD, it doesn't appear to be like kaput. It's just that something with the boot partition, some of the data on there, something went wrong, and it might have just been my computer was updating itself and somehow also shut down, with an update, and it wasn't able to recover the Windows file effectively. So I'm just backing everything up, and people, back up if you have stuff worth backing up, back it up before you need to back it up. Don't be like me. I knew I'd have to. I thought, all right, after I've owned this thing for a year, I'll start doing backups. Like, it's nothing can go wrong before then. Oops. Don't be like that. Back stuff up now. Because this is probably going to take a day. I thought it was going to be a 12-hour backup. And then she's like, oh, you woke up this morning and you thought it might be done? No. So I think it's about 50% right now. I started yesterday, so sometime this weekend. It should be done. I'll fix it. It'll be fine. We'll go back to normal. Worst case scenario, I just start fresh. Rebuild my stream setup as far as software goes and move on. Well, that should be good. Pavlov. Oh, I had to figure that one out. Because last time I played the settings, I want to do it again. It is set up right now on a friend's computer. And if I wanted to hook it up to my computer, I'd have to I'd have to reinstall the sensors on the walls, and that would just be a mess. So, but his computer was having some trouble with playing Pavlov well. So, and maybe it was just the server I was playing in, and I do really want to try it again, and maybe I will try it again. Heck, we might try it again this weekend. No promises, but I really do want to do more of that. And there are other games that are going to be less intensive than Pavlov. There's Blame Sorcery might work. The problem is he has a lot of mods installed, and uh, the game got updated, and the mods no longer work, and it's his computer, so I'm not gonna mess around with that. But yeah, there are other things I know that will work on stream. I definitely want to do more of that, and we can try some Pavlov in a smaller server because I do love it. Cause I play it anyway. I might as well let you guys enjoy it. So that'll be a whole thing. Oh yeah, no, I forgot it was Friday the 13th. Yeah, of course my computer failed uh, during Friday the 13th. Of course it did. Not on Friday the 13th, but it's currently failed on. Is still being repaired. So good call. I meant to bring that up too. I was thinking about it. Where's the ham-hock? Ham's right here. As far as the hawk goes. That's the question, isn't it? Paul, I don't even know if I want to watch Chili describe the body cam footage. It's just going to make me mad. I might have to, though. Let me know. Let me know if I should. Signal Core, yes. Signal Core is still a thing, right? Tell me it's still a thing. Or am I thinking Common? It's Common. Does Common used to work with Signal? Yeah. Oh, that's a thing. I'll have to look into that. Oh, DEA? Yeah, he had cool stories about the growth farms. Lisa. Oh, man. He is not a boomer. He says, I get excited every time an old lady gets magged on. I don't even know where that's coming from. Also, no. I most certainly don't. What a silly thing to say. Oh, what's up, Kenny Criminal? We were just talking about you. And your stream. Was it last night? With the police officer? I haven't watched it. I know, I'm sorry. But I'm going to. And the rest of you should too. Mom's an Air Force vet. What can you call yourself? Regularly found yourself employed under the supervision of a military veteran. Employed not meaning to be paid, but given tasks. Familiar with military structure and organization. You can do a lot with that. When you get out of the Army, you go through a bunch of classes, or you have the option to go through a bunch of classes. Some are options, some are not. Like SFL TAP is what it's called. One of them is a class on writing a resume. I have no problem writing a resume. I've written resumes in my life. And I'm like, why do I have to go through this? And I'm glad I did have to go through it, because the guy sitting next to me had been artillery for 3 years. And he's like, I don't know what to put that would look good for civilians. And oh boy, did we find some creative ways to be like, oh, you used to launch explosives out of a big metal tube? We can do something. Now, my resume is great, by the way. I did a lot of cool stuff, not gonna lie. But what is artillery? What can you do with that on the civilian side? You got all your generic military, lead soldiers, works in a high stress, environment, is good under pressure. And then you go and calculate advanced mathematical formulas in life or death situations, right? Like, can lift heavy loads, works well as a team. communicates regularly with other teams to accomplish results, right? Because they get like calling the coordinates, that sort of thing. There's a whole thing. Oh, the fake attorney general was asking where I got my knowledge. Yeah, I saw there was a community post. I'm definitely addressing that once my computer's back up and running. Like, I'm going over that for sure. I might make that a stream. That's got to be a stream because, oh, he's so mad. That's One Stop 14th Amendment shop. No, One Stop 14th Amendment audit shop. That sounds right. Uh, he's really dumb. He doesn't know how parking works. He got so mad that his vehicle was towed that he called the FBI a few times, called the state attorney general, he called sheriff, everyone. And they're all like, it's a civil matter, dude. You parked illegally. And then his stuff got dismissed because the tow company got so sick of dealing with him and realized they're never going to get the money. They're just like, here's your car back. Just leave us alone. Here it is in the condition that, like, stop. And then he tried to file a bunch of lawsuits, and they're like, no. So I was like, everything's corrupt. And I've made fun of him a few times. And at first it was like, let me correct you. Now, he went on the attack. And he's not good at that either. So now it's just a bit fun for me. Be like, you still don't understand. Like, I've explained this so many times. How you still don't understand these things? So I saw that he had a new thing about me. Because I'm like the biggest threat against him, apparently. Like, he thinks I'm his arch nemesis. I forgot about him, honestly. He just keeps popping in my life. And every time he does, I'm like, let me just put you back down there. Right? Start at the bottom, build a foundation of knowledge, and then build up. But you're like trying to start here without knowing anything around it as far as like legal stuff goes. No, that's not going to help you, right? Like, if you want to be an adult and you want to sort of tone it down, have some humility, realize that you're wrong, I'm happy to help you. I will work with you. I'll walk you through the basics, not legal advice, but things that, like, the directions that I would recommend going to sort of understand things. I'm happy to. But if you're like, no, screw you, because I don't like that you're telling me that I'm wrong, like, why am I going to help you? I will put out information that will help you. I'm going to be sassy about it. You want the sass to be gone, apologize and we'll work through it. Right? I don't generally hold a grudge. If Jeremy DeWitt got out of jail and reached out to me and said, hey, I want to apologize for all of that, what do I do now? Cool, I appreciate that. Probably not going to help him much, but I'm not going to hold a grudge against him just because he's an absolute moron. If he serves his time, and he starts making good decisions, great. It worked. Hooray. Why do I seem to be mad at him? Right? Not that I ever really was mad at him. It was just like, oh, goodness, you're still, again, why are you making the worst choices possible? It's the whole thing. So, that's the whole thing. I don't really hate people, generally. I hate stupidity. And so if a person's being stupid, despite all the help to not be stupid, I'm going to take offense to that. If a stupid person gets smart, hooray. You know? I only dislike the stupidity. It's the whole thing. You and two Marines at community service with you? Now you've worked with the Marines from Camp Pendleton. Yeah, technically. In the service of the government. If it's court-ordered community service, and you had two Marines with you, you've worked alongside Marines in the service of the government to better the community. Boom. I should just quit everything I do and just be a professional resume writer, you know? Go on Fiverr and offer my services. Oh, I gotta switch hands. I got my arm in everything, all the circulation cut off. That's a weird angle. It's a hammock though, there's not much I can do with it. Alright, there we go. The gift baskets go out? Not yet, but we have the final number for the catered event. So that money has gone out. That's going to be organized, and there's someone in Ironton. There are a couple people in Ironton that are getting the gift baskets put together right now. I'm probably going to send a few more from the internet, depending on how much their baskets cost. Uh, I got a notification that the stuff for the janitor got sent. I have to confirm that. Uh, but the money is heading in the right direction. Finally, it was a process. The time's like, we do what now? Cater? Huh? So it just had to be figured out with how to cater an event in the location. How many people would it would be catered for, and which restaurants would do it. I know it's been taking forever, and I'm up there with you. Being like, why? What's happening? But it's happening now. So, and we have receipts for it. So there's that. Kaboom. And I haven't put those out yet, but the original amount that was raised is still up, so that you guys can hold me accountable for making sure all of it goes to Ironton. It's just, as is with everything, a time-consuming process. Oh, I should be there for the MMA challenge. Maybe I will be if it happens. When was the last time I fell out of the hammock? I don't think I've ever fallen out of this hammock. I'm pretty good at not falling out of hammocks. Chili get eaten alive with SEAL training. SEAL training is, there's a lot of strength involved. A lot of it's just endurance and your mindset. Very little sleep, very little food, and it's just constant work. For the beginning stuff, and what I know about it is mostly it's similar to the first 3 weeks of Special Forces in some ways, in the sense that it's just very little sleep, super intense physically, just constant intense physical exercise, and not much food. And so for the first however many weeks, and I don't know much about SEAL training. All I know is Special Forces training, not having been through it, but I know people who have. And the first few weeks is literally just, are you going to make it? If you can make through this, then we teach you stuff. But it's all about the mindset. As long as you keep going, you're gonna be okay. You might not get through it. You might not, and they might not take you. But it's literally just, do not quit. It's not who can lift the most weights or do whatever. It's do you make a continuous effort. I mean, there's a lot more. That's not fair. There's so much more than that. But, you're not going to get into that training unless you are already very physically fit. But I think Chili does a lot of muscle building. I don't think he does a lot of endurance stuff. That's my guess. I think he lifts weights. I don't think he runs. Stuff like that. And maybe he does run. But he did modeling in California. And it's all about looks, not about function. For the most part, with modeling, right? There's a difference between show muscles and work muscles, if that makes sense. And I'm not really qualified to give facts in this sort of thing, but I think a lot of his muscles are show muscles. Is he strong? Yeah, I'm sure he is. But does he have the endurance? I have questions. So people claim they can't find a place for the MMA fight. My understanding is they found one. One was found. That's my understanding. Jassa, I'm definitely going to see the stream. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to. Also, hello, Jassa. Just got your notice me. Chili equal low-hanging fruit. You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. Which is why I'm still going to make content about it, just the little shorts though, the YouTube shorts, because it's so easy. But I want to move on. I want to diversify. I want to keep things fresh and interesting. So, I see Chili and James Freeman on AFA, which was it? I did. I haven't watched it. I saw clips though, and I was not impressed. I don't like. Okay, so I know I said like I don't like people. I was just about to say I don't like Freeman. It's not that I don't like Freeman. I don't like his stupidity. Freeman's not an idiot. Don't get me wrong. Freeman's not an idiot. He's dumb, but he's not an idiot, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, he's not to be underestimated when it comes to logic and reasoning. It's just that he uses it for his own benefit. It's like there's a way he wants the world to be, and instead of trying to make the world that way, he goes, it should be this way, and therefore I'm going to act like it's this way, and then get mad when it's not this way, because it should be this way. He's, as far as auditors go, he is not anywhere near the bottom of the list when it comes to the dumbest, right? He's an intelligent guy. He doesn't use that intelligence very effectively when it comes to his auditing, but he is not to be underestimated. Not at all. Same, like Johnny 5-0, same boat. Do they know anything about the law? Not as much as they think they do. Are they dumb? Are they stupid people? No. This just isn't their field. And they have no apparent interest to learn about it. It's a thing, like, I don't know how to explain this well. It's like, well, we're idiot and dumb, or like synonyms. I mean, yeah, technically. It's like Johnny 5-0 and James Freeman, I believe, could be very successful people, and probably have been very successful people in other fields, right? There are things that they could do that they'd be very confident at. I would believe that 100%. They have found themselves in the field, being auditing, law, policing. They're analyzing it. They have no idea what they're doing. They're not interested because they're using a lot of opinions instead of facts. They don't care to learn how it all works. Then you have something like Glenn Serio. I don't think Glenn Serio is successful at anything at all. I don't think he has much capability to be successful at anything at all. Glenn Serio has a lot of issues, just as a human being. And so there's Glenn is here. James Freeman and like Johnny 5-0 are here. All of them are bad at law. When it comes to who I would estimation of abilities in general, there's a spectrum. So challenging Freeman to debate, yeah, it would be really easy to be like, you don't know how this law works, you're wrong about this law. But when you're comparing ideologies, like just that are opinion-based, of course Freeman's going to eat him up. And Freeman did, my understanding is Freeman ate him up and said, you don't know how to do this. You don't know what you're talking about. Your idea is dumb. My idea is freedom for everybody. Your idea is, like, how can you get your self-power? You know, how can you subjugate people in a different way? That's my understanding of how it went. I haven't seen it. But I've seen some clips. Chili can't even debate people who agree with him. It's amazing. So that's the thing. Oh, Paul, I do want to hear some practice questions. Quiz me. We'll do a stream. Or we'll just, I don't know, quiz me. We'll see how I do. Oh, no. It's going to be embarrassing. We do so terribly. That would be so cool. How's it going, Susie? Ooh, do you too? $2,600 hard drive that was not backed up? Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. That was a thing. All right. Is that transparency drone? How far back am I? Oh, no, I've been rambling. Test, restore your backups before you depend on them, for real. You're not wrong. Joshua, thanks so much. As you go into the fight between Chili and lead educator, particularly Chili will be destroyed. I also think so. But he'll be like, oh, I went easy on him. Like, it was for charity, so I had to let him win. Like, I actually kind of do want to go to see that. I don't remember when that's going to happen, though. I can't promise I'll be there, but... Why aren't you referring to him by his proper name? Bits and pieces. Hashtag sweetie. Which proper name do we want? And then, of course, there's the fake delete laws. Thank you so much. There's trifolds. Oh, yeah, he says two dumb cops plant a gun, and yet, no. That's a whole thing. I assume it's the... Oh, we're going for it. It's Friday the 13th. Josh Willie, thanks so much again, by the way. It says Bits and Pieces / Blue Bacon Collab. Could that be called Bacon Bits? You know what? I'd be up for that. Yeah, Bits and Pieces. Let's, if you want to, let the guy know. I worked out at the gym. A doctor worked out. It doesn't make you a gynecologist. Or doesn't... That's from... B. Brown says they're not a gynecologist because they worked out at a gym that gynecologist worked out in. Could still say you trained with them. You wouldn't hold up to questioning, but you could say, "Hey, Dutch Doyle, hey, thank you so much. Good to have you here." Some of you in the comments. Justin Benjamin, thanks so much. Happy Friday to you as well. Weekends, it's been a thing. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. But the last few days have been kind of nice. I mean, there's the stress of trying to fix my computer, but also, like, it's just a lot of free time now. Like, I can't work on it, you know, so might as well just chillax. Heck, why not? Josh Willie, thanks so much again. Says, when Chili gets arrested, maybe his community service should include ride-alongs / activities promoting police. That would... I don't think they could do that, but that'd be hilarious. Oh. Is it about to start raining? Probably. Oh, Kentucky. Never been to Kentucky. Have I? I don't think so. I'd like to go to Kentucky. Some good stuff in Kentucky. There's some bad stuff in Kentucky. There's some good stuff. I'm an optimist. Susie could use a boop. All right, ready? You ready? Boop. There you go. I can't do that in the regular streams. See some apple juice. Maybe next time. You know, I'm not saying it can't happen. It's a little early for me. I know I'd done it earlier, but that was like with the full setup and at the desk. And, one of these days. Hold on. I'm backing up. I gotta figure out. There we go. All right, got it. Never mind. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read your chats. Chili made a video saying he won. Of course he did. Because he can't lose. He's not allowed to. He won't let himself lose. Blah. He doesn't understand. It's a problem. I could never lose. Like, cool. A real alpha would know if they've won or lost so that they can improve and maintain their alpha status. Chili's not an alpha, but that's okay. He thinks looking like an alpha, I guess. I don't know what an alpha looks like. I don't know. He's not, though. He's not. He's pretending to be. He's not. Justin, thank you so much. Says, I thought it was Sweetie. Too much respect calling him Chili or Jose. Fair. No, I generally only call him Sweetie in communication with him. Because I'm not calling him that. So it's not like it's an actual nickname. Like when I call him Sweetie, that's not a nickname. That's sort of an indicator that I don't know. Rennie was the one that started that whole thing. She's like, oh yeah, here we call people Sweetie. Like, oh, Sweetie, right? Like it's talking down to someone. If I'm calling you Sweetie, there's a good chance I'm talking down to you. Fun facts, in case you were curious. So when I call him Sweetie, that's not a nickname I have for him. That's just me making it clear that whatever he's saying, I think is absolute nonsense. What would you like the ending to the fight to be? Choices are stranglehold with Chili claiming submission, knockout, or referee calls it. Ooh. Well, if it's just straight up wrestling. Well, okay, so if it's stranglehold could be a knockout if Chili didn't tap. Whereas stranglehold with Chili claiming submission, that would be a tap. I'd like to see Chili tap out because he has made a conscious decision to end the fight. Right? Like he stopped fighting. Submission is you fought till the end, uh, until your body literally gave up. But a tap, you gave up. You made the decision to give up, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like you should be aware of when, like, what your line is between, would not tapping cause serious injury, or do you know that there's no way out and you will end up passing out, which could be dangerous, right? So there's nothing wrong with tapping. It was just because of his mentality. I think that would be a good way to, or no, maybe I do want him to actually get knocked out in some way. I'm not saying I want him knocked out. I'm saying in the context of an organized fight, right? How would I want it to end? A knockout. If he was knocked out, if he passed out, he couldn't claim that he threw the fight for charity or something like that. So that might be better. I'd have to think about that. Does it appear that life is sucking too much? That'd be nicer if it was a little bit warmer. It's kind of chilly today. I don't know what happened, but I'm doing pretty good. You know, there's some stressors in my life. Sure wish my computer was functional, but at the end of the day, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm doing what I love. I got people in my life that I care about. I have enough time to give back to the community. Uh, outside of all of this, it's not bad. Make good choices early on, folks. It's never too early to start making good decisions. The earlier you make those good decisions, the better you can make your life overall. I was very fortunate to grow up in a household where I was encouraged to make good decisions. Strongly encouraged, very strongly encouraged to make good decisions. No sneaking out for this guy. No parties, nothing. And as boring as that sounds, it worked. I'm doing all right. Now, middle of my life, did I make some dumb decisions? I joined the army. No. So I'm glad I joined the army, but it certainly put me on a different path. It works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. It works for me. Same as Wales. Mark. Oh, Wales. Joshua, thanks so much again. Says, any idea where Glenn ran off to? Also, Chili hates when you call him Sweetie. He sure does, which is why I don't call him that, because it's more than absolutely necessary. Because I'm not trying to harass him. I'm not trying to insult him unnecessarily, right? Outside of the context of parody and humor. I'm not doing it to be mean, if that makes sense. So, that's the whole thing. Apparently, Glenn left the state. It was a shame because I wanted to do some video. I wanted to find him out and about doing this thing. I don't know how his case went, though, if it's still happening or what. But I don't know what his deal is. It's a shame because I had a lot of information on his whereabouts, where he usually hung out. Little folder on the guy. I just never got around to it because it wasn't summer. I didn't want to go out in the cold and the rain. Oh, he said he won because Freeman had more subscribers, so it was rigged. So, what? So with that logic, if I had come onto his channel to debate, I can just say, well, it's rigged because you have more subscribers, so it doesn't count. Although I have more active subscribers, I believe. Technically. But I'm not that using his logic against him has ever convinced him that he was wrong. Because he would never be wrong. He hasn't one of his streams like, if I'm ever wrong, let me know. I want you to correct me. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's absolutely not true. Oh yeah, how he talks to women is awful. Archangel for Truth. What nonsense are you spewing today? Why so serious? I'm not? Hanging out in a hammock, just talking? How, Archangel, how is it every time you type something here? It does not make sense. I don't understand. Like, it takes effort. It has to be on purpose. It has to be on purpose. It has to be this just, like, long game troll situation. I don't understand it. $50 to my charity for every tooth Chili loses. Do you think he's going to take them out before the fight? Does that count? If he took them out and someone stole it, does that count as a lost tooth? Ex-SAS soldier. Ooh, I'd pay to watch that fight, Taipan. Ooh. What are the knives that you guys get? I always liked those. I don't remember what they are. I don't know. It'll come to me, or it won't, or I'll see it in the chat. Inquisitor Rurik, hey, thanks for becoming a member. Hammock plus Hawaiian shirt equals maximum relaxation. It's pretty nice. It's pretty good. I need a little table. I had a table. It wasn't an outdoor table. I'm looking at it right now. Ooh, that table is also part of a tree fell on it. So, but yeah, nice to have something I can just connect the phone to. Aren't all seals naval in a way? Fair point. Hose seal. Well, like air hose seal. That's not naval. Take that. Haha. Call the mayor of Stuthers Hun. Oh yeah, there was that video of him. God, people have been sending me clips. I've just been watching Chili through clips. I don't watch his full videos. There's just too much nonsense. I stop and start writing scripts. Like, no, I can't, but I have to. So yeah, we're just like knocking on the door forever. Like he doesn't, or she doesn't want to see you. Like, go away. Oh yeah, a biker even said, "Come to my gym, we'll fight." Chili doesn't want to fight. That's the thing. He doesn't want to ever put himself in a situation where he won't succeed. Although he does it all the time. He's very careful, but he talks a real big game. But his appearance, what people think of him, really matters to him. So it's a whole thing. Chili wanted the debate against Freeman because Freeman didn't answer any of his questions. Did Chili answer any of Freeman's questions? So, by that logic, Team Skeptic won the debate against Chili because Chili deflected completely. You know, I would have thought that you'd be on Freeman's side, Archangel, because Freeman's a hell of a lot closer to Sovereign Sis than Chili is. And I know that you align yourself pretty closely with that whole shtick. Although, Chili is getting there. He's getting there. Do you think there's other auditors coming back to Ironton with Chili? I think they might pass through. I think it's small stuff, if anything. I don't think it's much to be worried about. How's it going, NF Cat? I've been doing videos, just mostly shorts. I did have the one on Wednesday, which doesn't have a thumbnail. It's fine, because I can't make a thumbnail right now. I could, I guess. It would just take me a little longer. But I released that one early. So I did the Monday and Friday stuff. I just haven't been doing as many streams. Gerber and Tactical. Huh. Excellent. Oh, shucks, John. Oh, you're just saying that. I'm so far behind the chat. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? John called me cute. It's all right. It's true. As long as he believes it. Cute is subjective. So, well, to an individual. You could say it's subjective culturally. Anyway, philosophy. Blah. It's no, you know, old French philosopher nonsense, but it's philosophy. Montesquieu, that's what I was looking for. Couldn't think of it in time. He and Tim would get together. God, no. Hey, I found the bottom. I found the bottom of the chat. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Game the chat. Screen takes all. I decline. I'd probably lose. Yeah, if Chile goes back to Ironton and Ruffle Feathers, I think he's gonna find himself facing some civil lawsuits. I think he's been gone long enough that people have had time to draft him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, you know? Just sort of how it is. According to Jennifer, he's soon to be out. It hasn't been that long, has it? 18 months. He had 18 months in jail with like 4 years probation, or about. The total 4 years probation? Is it 3.5? I don't know. It hasn't been 18 months yet. No, he's still got at least half a year, right? 12 months. Okay. Good. Paul Carroll says the Chili James Freeman debate, just a guy who wants to get rid of police and a guy who wants to get rid of government talking past each other. Yeah, that certainly summarizes what I've heard about it very well. Yeah. If you want to get rid, like, look, if there's a problem you see, you have things you can do to fix it. Problem is, neither of them are going through the appropriate channels, and so very little is getting done. Like, they could fix a lot of the problems they have a lot more efficiently if they went through the proper channels. The problem is they don't actually know anything they're talking about. They don't know how to go through the proper channels or how to redress the government. Like, we have the right to redress. Cool, you don't have the knowledge to redress. And so when someone like me goes, hey, that's not correct, and oftentimes I'll start out like real polite, like, hey, at least I used to, until I realized that wasn't what it was all about. They don't actually care about having correct information. They go, no, not interested. Like, cool. So June. Well, it's getting close. Oh, am I ready to dive back into that? Ooh, we'll keep an eye on him. I don't think I'm going to immediately start making content. I know there are some creators that'll be very happy, I'm sure. But he's not allowed to talk about it. Like, DeWitt is not allowed to talk about his company on probation. So we'll see how long that lasts. Oh, they gave him not many years, but his probation is real intense. I don't know that I've ever seen a probation that strict. Lost evidence. What lost evidence? They can't rebrand. He's not allowed to have any job similar to that. He can't own the equipment. He can't own anything police or security related, I think. How can they possibly rebrand? His motorcycle license is his endorsement is revoked. I believe his driving license is suspended for 6 months upon release. Oh, he better not start that back up again under a new brand. Because the police are going to be watching him like hawks. Ooh, 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 oh! I might drag me back in. Mm. Mark Jones asked, "Do they actually want to make change?" Some of them do. Most of the auditors these days do not. They just want money. Sure, they're mad at police. Sure, they're mad at the government. But nothing they're doing is actually going to fix it. They're like, well, we're not fixing it. We're letting other people fix it. We're just drawing attention to it. Like, but you're not. You're filming things and then pretending that the things you filmed are a thing they're not, for the most part. And then you're making money off of that. Like, this isn't about change. This is about greed. Mm. We got a chilly musical yet. Well, I already did. I don't usually do. I a chilly musical. I did the DeWitt musical. Number. I did 2 songs for DeWitt. But the second one was because Amir asked for it. Not really. He on Dr. Phil between like when it wasn't we weren't rolling. Like, so when's the next musical coming out? So I used that as an excuse to make the second video, music video, which was the Fall of Jay DeWitt, which I really enjoyed actually. Then Chili already got 1 song. It's tempting. I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but it's tempting. Jake R, good to have you here. What happened to my computer? I believe the boot drive, something went wrong, and so now the computer's like, I can't boot from that. What operating system? So I have all the stuff in place to fix it. It's just that I haven't done a backup recently, so I have to do a back. I'm doing a full backup to a new hard drive. I was going to do a clone of the drive. I'm still kind of tempted to, honestly. Probably not. I don't need to do a clone. I can rebuild. I have the technology. I just have to fix the boot drive. If the boot drive fix goes wrong, it could just make it very difficult to access the data or data, depending on how you want to say it. So I'm just accessing it now. I'm getting it off, or I'm copying it over, so that if things do fail, I still have a lot of my files. I'll have to reinstall a lot of programs, but it will clean up my computer quite a bit, which would be nice. Really won't be that bad. Like probably take a month for me to find all the things that I forgot I had installed. It'll be fine. Oh, Chili trying his garbage on tribal land. I don't know much about it. I know a guy who was a tribal officer, and I still don't know how all that works. Like it gets complicated. It gets weird. There's a lot of freedom for the tribal governments in how they want to run things. Justin says, I hope he does. I could use a little excitement on I-4. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Archangel Truth says, none of us will win until we are free from government as it is. That's a fun opinion. But it's just an opinion. And what are the win conditions? Right? Like, none of us win the lottery unless we have the winning numbers. Cool. That's a single thing you can win. That doesn't mean you're not winning in other ways. Archangel doesn't think things through. It's fine. It's fun to address, though. File a lawsuit for failed promises and filing against you. I mean, I feel like I'm not going to file a lawsuit. It would be a very weak lawsuit. I'm sure Paul would be able to tell us more about that. But if a lawsuit for intentional infliction of emotional distress, it wouldn't work because I already stated that I'm not worried about this lawsuit. I'm not scared of it, so it would not work. However, I feel like threatening someone with a lawsuit with no intent to file could be grounds for something. Would you actually get anything out of it? I don't know. you know? And what are the damages? What monetary value would it have? Like, couldn't be much. Well, unless it was like, oh, I didn't go to work because I was so stressed, and therefore I didn't make this amount of money, and therefore that's why I'm owed. Or I had to go to a like a psychologist to talk about my issues with this, and that cost us money. Like, then there'd be damages, but there are no damages here for that. For me, anyway. DUE says, I've met Jeremy. He's an interesting character in person. He's, me too. He was a lot calmer than I've seen him at his worst. So is pretty much everybody. But also, there were a lot of cameras pointed at him, so I'm sure he didn't want to be too stupid. Boot sectors, that's right. The boot sector. The partition for booting computers. Mm. Consulting. There's a lot of money to be made by perpetuating problems. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Tons of money. There are so many things that actually fall under that. I know, like, this is a joke, but now, like, I kind of want to get into that. Planned obsolescence. You want to make money building things? Plan for them to fail. Right? Say, hey, they're good for 5 years. That's how long our warranty goes for, and then build them so they last 6. Say, oops, gotta get a new one. And that's why a lot of people prefer older tools. Not dishwashers, but um, I know there are a lot of like mixers for cooking. People prefer the ones from 60s, 70s, 80s because they were designed to last. I don't know if I have my dates right, but like some of the older ones, there were power tools that people really love to have the older ones. As long as you grease them up, you remove some of the rust, you replace the blades, like they're good to go. They're not going to fail. You don't have all the cheap parts. They're going to be expensive, but it's a sort of trade-off, right? So if you have a device, if you all you make are items that will last you forever, they're going to be a little more. They're going to be more expensive. As I say, a little more, probably a lot more. They're going to be expensive. But if you can say, hey, we have a cheaper product. You want that cheaper product? And that cheaper product you know is going to fail, and you expect it to fail, right? Yeah, okay, sure. You got your device here that you're like, oh, this is what we're built upon. We built a name on this device because it wouldn't fail. But oh, now we got a cheaper one. You're gonna make a lot of money on that cheaper one because first of all, it becomes more accessible to more people. Second, it has to be replaced more often. You got your brand name. People respect the brand name. But now you're making a lot more money. There's a lot of money there. That's a big thing. And that I'm pretty sure that's where like, oh, American made. You want American made because it's a better product. Because when this is a guess, I'm not an expert in this, but I believe, personally, could be wrong, that when the market started being, I guess, flooded with like Chinese products that were cheaper made, people were like, oh, but the American made stuff. We're not using that cheap Chinese metal, whatever. Well, they are now. Like, American made is not the difference between American made and Chinese made, for example, is very different than it used to be 30, 40, 50 years ago. Because initially, we were still making very high quality products. And then when people were like, wait a second, we can make a lot of money making those cheaper products because they will fail. That difference is a lot slimmer. I think, not an expert. I could be completely wrong. Someone come here and be like, well, actually, I'm an economical capitalist theorist student, and you're stupid. Fair, probably, yeah. You got me there. I'm not speaking from a place of experience or expertise. This is just my understanding of things from the little bit that I have read, which I may have misinterpreted. This is not my field of expertise. Yeah, that's a whole thing. We can have the entire conversation about it. But it's not really one that I want to be spouting at you. It's a discussion I'd like to have to be like, what do you think? Because I don't know. This is me guessing. But I can tell you this. I believe it was sewing machines. There was a major company in the United States that made sewing machines, and they stopped being able to sell sewing machines because everyone had bought one, and no one was buying new ones. And they bought they're like, hey, sell us back our sewing machines. And they took back as many of their really good sewing machines as they could, and then created a worse product so they could continue selling sewing machines. That I know was a real thing. That's a whole thing. Quadfold. Ooh, they ease an extra. That's 25% better. Sounding board. Yes. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Paul says the issue that he took with Chili's, or the issue that Chile took with Freeman's premise was that voluntarism will always devolve into violence. Isn't, but Chile's whole thing is about voluntarism because there will. I get what you're saying, Paul. Because yeah, voluntarism will promote violence. It will self-correct, or at least it always has for the most part, to a degree. There will be some level of self-correction, uh, and that's a whole topic. But Chile's whole thing is, oh, you volunteer to be put into custody, you volunteer to this, you volunteer to do that. We still have a government system to enforce stuff if you volunteer for it. It doesn't make sense, and I'm trying to discuss something that does not make any sense at all, and I think we both know that. Um, Certainly, it's nuts. Chile doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's created or how to manage it now that it is created. Archangel Truth asks, "Am I happy with the government as it is?" I understand that. See, the difference is, I think between me and you is, I understand the government as it is, and I'm going to answer the question. I haven't gotten to it yet. This is not my answer. This is the precursor to my answer, to give you the full context. I understand how the government works. There are changes I would like to see made. I think our government, as it is, has the potential to be great. I think people will cause even the most perfect system to develop problems. I believe that our government has not caught up with the digital communication age that we have found ourselves in. We just changed a lot of stuff and has required the government to, in many ways, be a lot more connected, right? We have the states, we have the counties, we have the federal. In a lot of cases, the states want to be separate from federal. The federal doesn't, or does, and how much distance should there be between state and federal government? Well, in this current age, with communication being the way it is, with shipment of goods being the way it is, with how quickly we can travel and talk, staying separate from the federal government does not make the same sense that it did in 1785. Right? Just to throw out a date around the time that all of this was beginning. This is not the same world that the founding fathers were in. It's the same planet. It's not the same world. And there are changes I would like to see made. There are things that I don't agree with regarding some of the things that are in place. But I, as an individual, will always have something I do not agree with when compared to another individual. The question is, what do the people want? What do the people need? What do they deserve? What are they voting for? Because if we're going to be part of a community together, we can't be individuals. We have to acknowledge that we are part of a community, and we have to do what is best for that community. Does that mean doing good things for the people in it? Yes. But everyone will have to make sacrifices no matter what. Do I think certain people are making more sacrifices than others unreasonably? Yes, I do. Do I think that should be changed? Yes, I do. Do I think there are any short-term solutions? No, I do not. I think there are certain things that the emphasis needs to be put on. Education needs to be emphasized. We need more work in education. We need more money. We need more people. We need more help in education. That needs to be a major priority. We need to address global, state, interstate communications. How information is spread, how misinformation is spread. That needs to be addressed. How much misinformation are you allowed to spread? How does that factor into free speech? That's something that is being addressed now. That we're going to see what happens. Because we haven't really addressed that in any enormous way, in a way that address what we have. I mean, there have been things that have addressed that, sure, but there's still so much left to address that we have to keep up with, and as the world changes, a lot of things have to change with it. That includes our government. But acting outside of the proper channels to benefit as an individual instead of to benefit a community doesn't make sense. So the question you asked, do I agree with the government, or do I, what was it? What was the exact question? I don't know, I've lost it. Am I happy with the government as it is? Something like that, right? I'm happy with the structure more than I am unhappy with the structure. I don't agree with everyone in it. I don't agree with all the decisions. But I'm an individual. And if I want to make changes, then I have to be more than an individual. I have to get a group. I have to address the issues. And if I can get a majority to be like, hey, this should change, then fantastic. The problem is auditors think they have a majority. They don't, because they don't leave their echo chambers. There are far fewer of them. There are far fewer people that think the way they do than they think. And a lot of their ideas, for example, Chili's ideas, Freeman's ideas, would hurt people more than it would help people. Are there police officers that are doing the wrong thing? Yes. Do we need more accountability for law enforcement? Yes. But do the people holding them accountable, should they know what they're talking about? Yes. Do you know what you're talking about? Almost never. You want to make a change, know what you're talking about. And I'm happy to let you do that. Go redress the government, petition them for redress grievances. Absolutely. But understand that if you as an individual are trying to make changes that the majority don't agree with, it's probably not going to work well. Every system has a problem. The beautiful thing about America is if there's a problem, there are ways to fix those problems. And that's what I like about our government. Not the people, necessarily, but the ability to improve. The structure that has been created to improve. That's what I appreciate about it. It is not perfect. It will never be perfect. People are not perfect. As far as governments go, it's all right. We're getting there. Still a lot of room for improvement. We're getting there. But you're not going to get very far if you don't know what the government is. I probably rambled enough about that. A lot of spam that got deleted. When I get the drive fix, keep the data separate from your boot drive. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Archangel for Truth, are you making fun of people that might want psychological help? Are you starting to suggest that mental issues are a joke? You're going to have to answer that. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Because that's not a joke. People, if you're having... There's no shame in seeking help. So, Archangel, I do require you to respond to that. Just going through my chat. I do want to cover Tough Jiggly. I do want to cover the James Sheets incident. Yes, I'm waiting for a bunch of information to come out, and this weekend I'll probably review and see what's happening. Uh, yeah, Joshua, thanks so much. Did you see the trial of the auditor breaking the flaw? That was hilariously bad. I heard of it. I have not seen it though. I know it was covered. I haven't gotten around to it just yet. So I just do. Didn't the framer say it is a right to reject and abolish the government? Blue Bacon says Archangel. In a specific context, yes. Once the government stops working for the people or some such thing. We're not at that point, bud. Context is really important. It's not like it's a difficult thing to find as far as information goes regarding that specific thing. Anyway, it doesn't really matter if Archangel answers first because my phone's almost dead. I started with 75%. I'm at 15. Hooray! It's been a delightful stream. I love hanging out with you guys in this hammock. But first, Joshua, thanks so much. Says, I'm of the opinion that while our government is not perfect, it's one of the best ones out there. There are a bunch of places that do not enjoy the same privileges we do. Now, yeah, I mean, it's a good government. There are certainly changes that could be made that I think would benefit a lot of people. But those changes aren't going to be made if people are being dumb about it. So that's the whole thing. Anyway, so it looks like Archangel has decided, okay, it says it's a joke. All right, yeah, not a joke. Mental health is not a joke. What you're going to do is potentially discourage people from actually seeking help that need it. So that's something not to joke about. Because I know there are people that have reached out to me and said, hey, first, like, can you not talk about that topic in the way they're talking about it? Absolutely, you got it, right? I know people that have struggled through that sort of stuff. Not a problem. And second, people have thanked me for addressing some things. Like when I was going through stuff with Jeremy DeWitt, and there was some stuff about mental health. I tried to be very, very cautious about it. I take that stuff pretty seriously, because that is a big deal. That's not something to joke about. So, anyway, but I gotta get going, folks, because my phone is getting dead. Well, it's been delightful. I love hanging out with you guys. And, till the next time, wait, let me find out how to end this. Yeah, okay. Till the next time, ladies and gentlemen, you generous, beautiful people, be good, stay safe.